exposed the secret report into modern slavery that the Home Office didn't want us to see.
Choose clean air. Choose my career. Choose a big flip-flopping lie. Choose ignoring climate experts in favour of a Daily Mail hack. Choose 7-bin gaslighting. Choose saying you understand the struggles of ordinary people while keeping a straight face.
British farmers have been accused of engaging in modern slavery following allegations of widespread exploitation on British farms, which the Home Office had been trying to prevent making public. An investigation by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, the TBIJ, and The Independent has uncovered evidence suggesting that workers who had travelled thousands and thousands of miles to fill the gaps within the British agricultural sector were exploited, not paid correctly, kept in poor conditions. The Home Office gathered the reports in 2021 and 2022 in secret and then prevented them being made public because it was humiliating. And they were only released after a 5-month battle. The alleged mistreatment of migrants on British farms is so stark that the UK government is in potential breach of its obligations over the prevention of modern slavery. A Ukrainian woman working as a fruit picker hired by a government-registered recruiter claimed she was left starving after being confined to her caravan without access to medical assistance or food for 11 days when she caught COVID-19. The worker says a colleague pulled out their own tooth after being denied dental care by the farm. A Moldovan worker was allegedly only allowed one 15-minute break and was prevented from going to the toilet, drinking water or having any food until she hit her targets. It delves even further into the issue. The stories emerged after the TBIJ obtained 19 inspection reports produced by the Home Office into farms that employ individuals on seasonal workers' visas. The documents released after a successful appeal by the TBIJ summarise the interviews and findings of the inspectors who visited the sites. The names of the farms were redacted by the Home Office for commercial reasons. A senior Conservative who sits on the all-party parliamentary group on modern slavery and trafficking said the findings showed that modern slavery was everywhere and the Home Office must take action when abuse is identified. We're going to show you an example of one of the reports that were given to the investigation. The issue's concern said that no clothing or shoes is provided, no sick pay. If they don't work, they don't get paid. There are 2 breaks per day, but they're advised to work during the breaks. Had basic training, but felt it was not sufficient. No running water in caravan, must shower in common shower room, 1 key provided for 3 people. In all fairness, that's not too bad. That's not too different from what the rest of us get, is it? Try working in a factory in Lincolnshire. There is a mouse in the caravan. It is very cold. Once there was no soap in the common bathroom for 1 month and they frequently ran out of toilet paper. Raise the issue that they are not paid for transportation time. Feels employees are not fairly treated and there is a language barrier as supervisors speak Russian but no English. Every day they are threatened to go home if they don't reach targets. Every day there is a list of results of previous day's pickings and the person at the bottom of the lists gets publicly shamed. Now these are some pretty damning indictments given by these people. Some of them actually can be found already, like, we have a gig economy, 0-hour contracts. It's not too much different to what we're seeing in modern slavery. Where is the line that separates modern slavery and 0-hour contracts? Why is 0-hour contracts okay, but these elements of modern slavery are not? Whilst you're here, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, doesn't cost anything for you to do, and it helps the channel grow. Don't forget to like the video. Anyway, back to the video. An initial 2,500 visas were available at its launch. This year, as many as 55,000 are expected to be issued to people from countries including South Africa and Ukraine to work on hundreds of farms across the UK. The reports reveal that workers involved in the scheme have faced far greater levels of exploitation than the government has previously admitted. According to the TBIJ's analysis of the inspection reports, nearly half the workers raised welfare issues, including racism, wage theft, and threats of being sent back home if they failed to hit their targets. At one farm, where more than a dozen people complained about being mistreated, a manager was reported to have shouted, "I am a poor-blooded Englishwoman. I will stay to live here and you will go back to your poor country." Wow. Wow, that is bad. Another extract from the report says, she does not do many hours, usually 30 to 40 weeks, due to her husband having an injured back after a hernia. Her husband requested to be moved to a job with no heavy lifting due to his injury, and the farm said they would get a doctor to come and see him. However, no doctor ever came. He still had to work lifting heavy things for a while, but in the last 2 weeks he was moved to a packing job. As the manager knows, he is not allowed to lift heavy things. Not happy with work conditions. Thinks the managers like Bulgarians more. One of her managers has mood problems and she shouts at her. For example, time she finished work, she responded giving her time and shouted at her when she responded, but the Bulgarians next to her were talking the whole time. She complained to the other manager, who responded that the manager does not believe her because no one else has complained about. Redacted. Farming Minister Mark Spencer had commented on the allegations. He said that people on the seasonal workers scheme were treated very well and that they were very well looked after, and that employers make sure that their welfare needs are met. I don't think they are. Human rights lawyers said the failure to investigate could mean that the government has breached its obligations to prevent forced labour under the European Convention on Human Rights. Jamila Duncan Bossu, a solicitor with the Anti-Trafficking and Labour Exploitation Unit, a charity bringing claims on behalf of modern slavery victims, accused the government of state-sponsored exploitation. Unpaid hours are common, according to the Home Office reports. In nearly 2/3 of farms inspected, workers said that they were not always paid for the hours they worked or travelled, or had faced excessive deductions beyond the maximum allowed by law. Unlike other work visas where employers sponsors workers' residency permits, the agricultural seasonal worker visa relies on 6 licensed recruiters who often decide which farms people will work and whether they can be transferred to other farms if they face problems or if work dries up. It turns out that the recruiters are also charging unlawful recruitment fees, so bribery basically, as much as £7,500 for workers to come and work on these farms. The migrants have been paying £7,500 to work in England to then get exploited. What do you think of the latest reports into modern slavery? Clearly the government have not been doing enough, but have also been complicit in the ongoing nature of modern slavery as a whole in the UK. They have been perpetuating the exploitation of migrants in the UK. They know about it. They haven't done anything about it. They haven't sacked any of the 6 licensed recruiters for the workers' scheme. They even tried to delay or stymie the publishing of this document entirely. They lost the battle. That's the only reason that they have released these documents. Let me know what you think in the comments. What's the difference? What's the difference between 0-hour contract and modern slavery? We need to act to get rid of modern slavery. We need to act together to get rid of modern slavery from the UK. We need to call it out when we see it, even from our own government. Thank you.
In a mind-numbing, spirit-crushing Tory shit show. Choose nepotism, sycophancy, and barely concealed cronyism. Choose Windrush. Choose deportation, and wondering where the f*** you are on a Sunday morning. Choose dying alone in a COVID-infested care home. Nothing more than an inconvenience to the spoiled, self-entitled brats you put in power. Choose your future. Choose life.
Did you like the video? Then hit the subscribe button, or watch some more videos. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. Thank you very much.